I've been asked a few times to upload a video on why William Shatner retweeted my livestream a few months ago. So as boring as this is, I'll explain. But first, Shatner is an iconic actor from back in the day. If you remember Star Trek, it was 1966, a TV show. He went on to act in movies and honestly is a pretty famous guy. So imagine my surprise when I'm told that Shatner actually retweeted my link to my live stream. That would be like Luke Skywalker retweeting you, you know? That would be an accomplishment until you look at Shatner's Twitter. He spends a lot of his time arguing with people. He does a little ironic trolling also, but not really in a nasty way. You can tell he's very calm a lot of the time about his tweeting, always coming back to own somebody before blocking them. And in the very least, he sticks to his beliefs and his guns on some of the issues that he talks about. I don't really see him apologizing or backing down too much. He tweets a lot, though, and he is a celebrity who controls his own Twitter account, which makes it weird that he's deceived or misled by others with an agenda way too often. To give you an example, there's a legendary story involving YouTubers Red Letter Media and William Shatner. Red Letter Media covers a lot of sci-fi and, of course, has done epic breakdowns of Star Trek episodes and movies. Because of this, RLM fans asked Shatner to come on their show. Even celebrities chimed in, like Macaulay Culkin. Shatner saw one of the requests had a blue check mark and responded, which caused a bunch of the fans to jump in. And this is where things go sideways for Shatner on Twitter. He seems like the one celebrity who actually reads every notification that comes in. And he has no problem at all taking every tiny troll or joke and punching back. But when he does, he takes it way too seriously. Anyway, for some reason, he thinks Red Letter Media is a podcast when they aren't. They were a YouTube channel and a really good one, honestly. So he declines their invitation. Remember, it wasn't Red Letter Media that invited him. It was one of the fans. Thanks to Red Letter fans spamming Bill trying to convince him that they aren't a podcast with no luck at all, a meme emerged. The Red Letter fans eventually gave up and trolled Bill, and he fell for it. The fans sent him a video of Red Letter pretending to be a typical Star Wars podcast. They did this video before. They were making fun of podcasts, shilling for big corporations, and of course, Bill clicked it and threw it back at the RLM fans, acting like he had got him. In Shatner's defense, some people think that he was trolling back and knew it all along. And I can see why people would think that, but it's a funny situation that made a funny Red Letter video. So this leads to the day that I used Shatner in a thumbnail of mine, which I am allowed to do. I've used many celebrities in my thumbnails and titles, mostly as a joke due to their expression or to reference a part of the live stream for whatever reason. Celebrities, especially iconic ones, are fair use. They are pulp culture. And in that live stream, I had a bit planned, doing a segment discussing Shatner, but a group of boomers were out and about that day tagging Shatner, doing everything in their power to get him to retweet them, or to give them some attention, like the clout chasers that they are. And once this boomer group found out that I had the Shat in my thumbnail and title, they claimed that I was using Shatner's name to make money. Even before my live stream started, of course. For anyone that wants to argue that they aren't extreme boomers for doing this, the sheer fact that they were so serious about Shatner being in my thumbnail and title, equating it to using his name and image for money and views, just proves how little that they understand YouTube and fair use in general. And an internet boomer is not an ageist term. It's a meme that references someone's lack of understanding of internet culture to such a degree that they lose all grasp on reality, making them look really, the only word that I can use is boomery. So calling back to where I mentioned Shatner's willingness to click every notification that pops up on his feed, right? Shatner somehow in his mind, most likely due to an equal misunderstanding of YouTube, agreed with the Boomer Brigade and retweeted my link tagging Team YouTube asking them to do something about this guy. Isn't that funny? Do something about this guy using my image in his thumbnail, just like 100,000 other YouTube videos. So let's pretend for a second that Team YouTube saw Shatner's tweet and decided to watch my stream. They would hear me talk about who Shatner is and describe what happened on Twitter, and Team YouTube would be confused. Shatner knows that YouTubers are allowed to talk about him, his characters, whatever. I don't think he's going to go around filing takedown requests on every video that mentions his name and likeness. That would take a while. He'd have to pay people to do that. And then it wouldn't happen anyway. It's not against the rules. Okay, whatever. But I do have an admission to make. See, I knew about this happening before I started my stream. So I decided to cut the skit that I had planned. And it was pretty good. I replaced it with me being in awe over how I could be retweeted by a celebrity who was so easily duped by a group of internet boomer trolls. This is the point where I mentioned that they were actually the ones trying to use Shatner's name for money and attention. It's why they were all spamming him in the first place. It's why it was the only thing they could throw out when whining up to Shatner. They were projecting, of course, like boomer narcissists tend to do. Now, Shatner was innocent in this. I hold nothing against him. Most people calling for censorship for no reason at all against small creators are bad people, obviously. But in Shatner's defense, he had no understanding of what was going on in the background, how this group had already hated me for a while due to my opinions hurting their fifis over and over for months on end. So he most likely thought the tweets that he was getting were just trying to warn him of some approaching slight against his character, which my video wasn't. It wasn't a slight against his character. My video did nothing but praise Shatner's roles in his series. So the wrap-up here is pretty awesome, for me at least, because I got retweeted by an actor that I grew up watching. All the work that the Narcissist Boom Patrol did just ended up helping me and backfiring on them. I did absolutely nothing and earned a Shatner-approved retweet advertisement for my live stream. One thing about this that I found strange, you'd think rich people, like iconic actors, would be too busy enjoying their money and success, and if Shatner wanted to respond to something, you'd think he'd respond to positivity instead of feeding negativity every day. Like I said, I recorded Shatner's last bit of Twitter, and the first thing on the timeline today was hours of arguing with people. I guess Shatner never learned rule number 1 about the internet all along. Either way, I can add an accomplishment to my live streams now. Retweeted by William Shatner. See you in the next one. I'm out.